Yes, hello everyone, welcome to Football Talks. I do apologise, I've just come across from FUTV and I forgot to link the actual show this morning. All of the excitement of everything else going on match day, and I forgot to link the show. So thank you if you have jumped across. I do appreciate that without being prompted either. Legends, and you are the absolute creme de la creme of subscribers to both channels, I'm guessing. Anyway, I can see many familiar faces in there, so cheers for watching. We're going to talk about everything that's happened so far in the Premier League this morning. We're going to talk about the transfers as well. City in for Donnarumma. Pep Guardiola is not happy about his squad and where he's at the moment still. Wants more. Obviously, we're talking as a two Spurs and their great start to the Premier League this season. Some standout games as well. Get your thoughts in the comments section, everybody, on the games that stood out, performances that stood out. Who are you afraid of opposition wise? Get your thoughts on your team as well, if indeed they have played. We have Football Talks. I'm talking everything in the Premier League here. So thanks again. If you have jumped across from FUTV and you're new to the channel, welcome along. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. Let's get into all of the talk and everything that is going on. And Manchester City obviously went straight to the top of the table. New signings, Reinders and Shirkey both hitting the ground running. 4-0 win. Haaland off the mark already. Worrying signs for everybody else. Manchester City with the bit between their teeth, it would seem, at the start of this campaign. Pep Guardiola coming out after the game, though, and talking about the necessary business that still needs to be done. He isn't finished, and Manchester City are not finished yet. So a 4-0 win with more transfers and improvement to come doesn't bode well for the rest of the Premier League, does it? Liverpool off to a flyer. Ekitike scoring. Another new signing. All of the new signings for other clubs actually smashing it in the Premier League this weekend, and it's been a great start. Newcastle and Villa, obviously, a bit of a drab game there. Newcastle really looking like they're a bit toothless up front with Anthony Gordon in at centre forward, not going well. Villa really struggling. They could be the one that drop off this season. Forest, busy. Going to be even busier. Again, big games today in the Premier League also, so there's a lot to get through and a lot to talk. So get anything you want in the live chats that you want to talk about, from the games to transfers, anything at all. Now we've got football back as well. We're going to bring that into the show. But a story that's going around just to start things off here as well. Romano was talking about this yesterday. City well in for Donnarumma now, and Ederson looks like he is out of the door. His time at City is over, it would seem. Manchester City have dropped their asking price to €10 million for Ederson, but Galatasaray want to pay no more than €7 million for the goalkeeper. Negotiations are continuing to get the deal done, so I can't see that one not happening. City usually always get what they need for their players, and I think it'll be the same again with Ederson. I do believe that there is going to be a deal that happens quite soon for this one, and then that will clinch obviously the deal for Gianluigi Donnarumma as well, because he apparently has agreed personal terms with City now, and that's going to be a 12 million deal that happens. Do Manchester City need another goalkeeper? That's a question I want to ask. James Trafford brought in for big money this summer already. Are City overcooking what they've got there in that department? Obviously trying to make money via the pure profit side of things as well. James McAtee looks like he is edging closer to a move out of the club as well. Forest, again, very busy late on in the window. Nottingham Forest making a late surge. See how they kick off their season today as well. But I think Manchester City right now, after that start, has got everybody thinking, okay, maybe they are in the hunt. I had City making the top four this season. I think they were going to finish fourth. I think Chelsea could indeed pip Manchester City this season in terms of them top three. Arsenal, obviously, we'll see how they fare today at Old Trafford against my club, Manchester United. But a lot of questions answered, I think, in the opening day of fixtures yesterday. Teams that still need players, teams that are looking good, teams that are actually in a decent position right now. And anything on top of what they've already done is only going to make them even more dangerous. And City come right into that category. Liverpool also, the top two. Pressure already without even kicking a ball on Arsenal today at Old Trafford. 4 goals apiece for Liverpool and Manchester City. Flying high, new signings scoring goals, and then you've got the big one, haven't you? Gyökeres, Sesko, Manchester United, Arsenal, everything that's involved in that game. It is it's crunch time for Arsenal, really. They need to start moving forward. They need to start producing the goods, don't they? And I'm not sure. I'm not sure. That is the question. Going into the start of the season, you just don't know what's going to happen. And I think there's already been markers set down by City and Liverpool. I think Chelsea will do the same again before Arsenal play United today. And all of a sudden, you start to feel that pressure, don't you? There is so many big games that are going on in the Premier League in the first few weeks of the season. Some massive ones. I mean, Liverpool against Newcastle next. That is an absolute humdinger, isn't it? Liverpool against the Isaac situation there, and you can imagine what the boardroom is going to be like in that one. You can imagine what the President's Suite or anything else that has actually that they've got actually in that stadium there, where all the dignitaries go. How that atmosphere is going to be there. That's going to be a tad hostile, you would think. Andrew in the chat says, watched the Villa Newcastle game yesterday. Wasn't impressed with Watkins. Glad United went for Sesko. Get Edison to United. I can see him feeding Sesko now. Oh God, if we could, would you actually? Would you buy a player off one of your biggest rivals? There's a question for everyone in the chat today. I don't know. Honestly, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Shirky, look, quality, says Tomo. Did we miss out, really? We've got Mbumo and Cunha. I think they're better players anyway for what we need to do this season. And someone made a point on the FUTV show this morning saying that Manchester United... what was he saying now? Oh, yeah, why can't Manchester United bring in players from overseas like City and Liverpool have, and they kicked off their season with a bang, like Ekatike, Reinders, Shirky. Well, United are just in a different position right now. City are very, very comfortable, I feel, and are in a great position with what they need to do. So, yeah, that I think is why they are able to buy better players. Personally, I do think that they are able to buy players from overseas because they're already running well. Pep Guardiola wanted to bring another goalkeeper. I'm never going to understand that one. Ezebici Eza to Spurs is another one I just don't get, and I'm never going to get, because I just don't know why he would want to move there. I don't know why Eza would want to move to Spurs. Like, if you're a player right now, you're surely thinking Spurs are not going to last in the Champions League. Spurs are not going to last in they have to either get in the top 4 this season or win it. So why would you go to a club that you know are not going to be consistently in the Champions League? Moving to a club that's got Champions League football is appealing. Yes, I get it. But why would you? You've got to look forward, and sure, the agents are looking at this and going, you're going to get stuck into a contract with someone like Daniel Levy, who is never going to let you go at the right price. And that's it for you then. Spurs got off to a good start yesterday, 3-0 against newly promoted Burnley. But you know what's going to happen. Don't get carried away by an opening win for Spurs against Burnley at home. You'd expect Spurs to win that game. Burnley held out for a long time and showed signs of quality and that they are going to be all right in the league. But then, in the end, it always comes to a point where the Premier League quality shines through, and the Championship side would always then obviously miss out. But I also feel like right now Spurs still need, I think, 2 or 3 players to come in to that side to even compete in the Premier League alongside. We see what happened with them last season with European football. European football mixed in with Premier League football for Spurs got them 17th in the league. I don't get why Eza would want to move to Spurs. The setup at the club, fantastic stadium, training facilities, fantastic. But you know this football club isn't going to move anywhere from where it already is. You're going to just be teetering on the edge of European football every season, and that's it. There's nothing. They got lucky last season by winning the Europa League, and I think that is the max. That is the limit for Spurs. There is nothing more. There really isn't. Spurs will finish in the top 6. It says Bon. No, I don't think they will. I really don't think they will. I don't see them getting anywhere near. I don't think the team is good enough. And they can bring players in. If you bring Eza in, yeah, that's a different kettle of fish altogether again. But I can't see it. I really can't. I think they'll struggle again, Spurs. And they struggled for big spells again against Burnley yesterday. It's a good start, good result. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not saying that they didn't deserve it. And under Thomas Frank, I think that pragmatism will kick in and they'll handle things a lot better than what they did under Ange Postecoglou. It's not as gun-ho. I think it's a bit more organised and a bit more structured under Thomas Frank. And I think they'll be a harder team to beat. But I just think Frank's inexperience of European football and handling that with Premier League football will be the undoing of Spurs this season. If Spurs were in United's position right now and didn't have European football to play, and you had Thomas Frank and the signings that they were making, I think Spurs would have a real good season. I just think European football is going to undo them. I really do. But look, Spurs and City both sitting pretty at the top of the table, so they're not complaining. They're happy with the situation and where it's at the moment. So, yeah. Adam wouldn't underestimate Frank's coaching. I'm not. I just don't think that he can handle European football as well. And that's my prediction for the season. If he proves me wrong, he proves me wrong, Jeffrey, mate. But I just don't see him being able to handle it with that squad. Couple of injuries in there, and I think they're struggling. I do. Let's see. That slipped away from Arsenal getting Ez off. Yeah, Arsenal running out of money and needing to sell players, and then Spurs coming in for Eza. To be honest, like, Eza's signing for Spurs is an absolute mega deal for them. It's a fantastic deal. I think that could be one of the signings of the season if they get Eza over the line. And it looks like that is going to happen. Like, well done to him. Like, Spurs, they're not bothered. They're getting a great player. I question Eza looking to Spurs. I really do. And this, I think, it potentially could be one of the signings of the summer. So many competitive teams in the league this season. So many good transfers are coming in. Like Douglas Luiz going into Nottingham Forest. James McAtee going into Nottingham Forest. Forest keeping hold of Gibbs White. Like, all of a sudden, Forest have gone from, you might be struggling here, a few players leaving, Alanga out, Gibbs White was on the cusp of leaving as well. And what's happening to Forest to, bang, you've only really lost Alanga, and now you're bringing in some real quality players behind that as well. So, Forest's season, European football, can they handle it? Crystal Palace, European football, can they handle both week in, week out? I don't know is the answer. And they don't know either. First time back in Europe for how many decades? Palace first time. And that's where I think teams like United will actually have an opportunity this season, because obviously everyone else that isn't used to having football, like Spurs, Champions League, not used to that. Forest, Palace, not used to it. All the teams that are in the top four having to play 2 games a week, while United have only got 1. I think that's where United should actually steal a match and do need to take advantage of that this season. I think that is crucial. Adam, strange that nobody talking about Craig Pawson's performance yesterday. He had a shocker, very poor for years now. Frustrated players and fans, and it is an understatement. Refereeing, like, what was going on with that handball from Anthony Taylor and VAR in the opening game against Liverpool as well? That's an interesting one. Like, the refereeing has to get a lot better this season. And again, I do think that there is massive amount of pressure on the PGMOL this season to try and make it a better spectacle. Because last year, honestly, some of the decisions were outrageous last year in some of them games. They really were. So I get, like, it has to get a lot better. The new rules kicking in, the 8-second rule. I think someone fell. I've seen the headline. Someone actually fell short of that, actually. I think it was Dubravka, wasn't it? I've seen it pop up. I don't know too much about it, but the new 8-second rule that's kicked in with the goalkeepers, if you don't release the ball within 8 seconds, it's a corner to the opposition. So, yeah, I think that actually did happen once yesterday. Like, why would you need to hold on to the ball for 8 seconds? Seriously. The handball, Greg says, yeah, that was crazy, wasn't it? I rate Frank, like his football, and he gets players working together. Direct and tough. Yeah, very good. Do you know what? Thomas Frank deserved his chance, I think, at a better football club. I don't think Spurs is a better football club. Bigger than, obviously, Brentford. But I think he deserves his time in the headlines. I think Thomas Frank, and I think he's definitely proved that he's a capable Premier League manager with a very limited budget. Perfect for Daniel Levy then, and maybe that little bit more investment for him, he will be able to take it on, and he will be a success. Look, I wish him all the luck. I think he's a good manager. I think he talks sense as well. He's a straight talker, Thomas Frank, but I think he will find it hard this season at Spurs. I do. I'm not saying he's not a good manager, but I just think this season will be a real test for him. Good start. That's all you can say. Good start. And nothing more than that. Let's just see what else we've got in the chat here as well. Get your comments in on anything that you have seen throughout the opening to the Premier League season, everybody. How good was Sunderland? Like, their results yesterday, absolutely mega. I mean, when you look at new teams coming up, it's always a worry, isn't it? You're always thinking, right, okay, great season last season. You look at the teams so far that have come up. Burnley, 3-0 yesterday. Sunderland win 3-0 against West Ham. West Ham, you have got to be concerned, West Ham, about where your team is at. I don't think anywhere near enough investment. And again, like, could they be teetering on the edge? Like, they need to keep hold of Gerard Bowen. If they keep hold of him, then they've got a half a chance. But I've not seen enough coming for West Ham. Obviously, Sunderland have bought in so many players. Some really good business done for Sunderland, and they must be buzzing. They're on cloud 9. Like, 9 years since they were back, I think it is, isn't it? 9 years since they've been in the Premier League. I think that was the... Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. Sorry, everyone, if I am. But I think it is 9 years. I think they showed, in terms of their transfer activity and the investment into the team yesterday. Obviously, it's a buzz, first game of the season. You can get a decent reaction out of that. We'll see how they go throughout the season. But what a start. What a start. And I think looking at it there, you've got the Burnley. Obviously, they just storm the league. Good defensively, but that's not going to be enough. They need to invest. Leeds, we'll see how they go against Everton on Monday. I think Leeds could get a draw out of Everton. I do. But I think under David Moyes, that's not, like, everyone would look at that and go, that was the definite game there you could look at that would be an upset this weekend. But I'm not sure. I think Everton will get a draw out of that. Sunderland, definitely surprising everyone with how easy that was as well. I was talking about it on FUTV before as well, but Carlos Baleba and that little bit of a reaction and comments, I'm a Baleba, obviously hashtag I'm a Baleba. That I got a lot of people talking. I got an awful lot of people talking yesterday, and it was deleted as well. So yeah, very, very interesting. Quickly, in terms of transfer news that's happening, because the stories are going to keep on coming through all the time. Breaking news is Nicholas Jackson has told those close to him of his desire to join Aston Villa. Interesting, because I thought he was all on board for going to Newcastle. The Villains value Jackson at around 60 million. Why? He's not worth that much money, which falls below Chelsea's asking price. Good God. Eberechi Eze is set to start against Chelsea despite talks advancing with Spurs over a transfer. I mean, he's still a Crystal Palace player. Talking about him before, weren't we, on the show? I think Eze definitely isn't a player that's going to kick up a stink in and around. He's not going to kick up a stink in and around Crystal Palace, I don't think. Obviously, being brought through by them. He's obviously going to play today. You're praying at this stage, though, aren't you? You're actually bricking it because you're thinking, oh, God, like, we're about to sign this player and he's going playing one more game for somebody else here. What if he gets injured and it scuppers everything? That's the ultimate fear, isn't it, for any manager or anyone or any club owner that's investing into a player. I think if you see someone who you're about to sign playing for their parent club before the transfer happens, you're just crossing absolutely everything, aren't you? That he doesn't get injured. No, but I'm not surprised at all that Eze is reportedly in the lineup today for Crystal Palace. I don't think he's that type of character anyway. He's not kicked up a stink throughout the summer. I think he's been very respectable. There's been some cases this summer where we've seen players absolutely stink the place out just to actually make the move happen. Obviously, clearly, Alexander Isak being the main culprit for that. But past him, I think that business has been done fairly. I mean, you could say Spurs with Morgan Gibbs-White and all of that scenario worked out in the end for Nottingham Forest and Gibbs-White, but that one looked like it could have gone south very, very quickly as well, didn't it? So, yeah, that again is one that I would be looking at going, without making a signing, probably one of the best signings of the summer for Nottingham Forest is keeping hold of Gibbs-White. Losing him, I think, would have really affected their position and affected their campaign in Europe as well. Like, he wanted to play in Europe in European football. He's got that chance now as captain for Nottingham Forest. Signing that new deal for him, I think, is huge for Nottingham Forest. And you're looking at it and you're trying to do your predictions. And I was doing some predictions yesterday for the league. And obviously you can be swayed away by opening days and what's actually going to happen. I mean, for instance, I can't see anyone else right now looking at it after everyone's start, what players have been bought. And this could change in the next 2 weeks, obviously, because of the transfer window still being open. But I'm looking at the top four, for instance. I think Liverpool are probably going to win the league. I think they'll win the league. City, they sort of put a marker down yesterday. But I would like to see 4 or 5 games in and see what teams are doing. Wolves are crap. Let's not forget. Wolves have lost Nora, they've lost Cunha, they've lost Semedo. They've lost a lot of players, Wolves. And I think they're going to really struggle without investment. They look a bit of a mess at the moment, Wolves. But City beating who's in front of them. Liverpool, I think, struggled. They need a defender. So be interesting to see what happens with Mark Guehi over the next couple of weeks now. And don't forget, like, we are literally 2 weeks away. Officially 2 weeks now until the season summer transfer window closes. So it's important. I think it's going to be a massive week for a lot of football clubs. Couple of weeks anyway, but I think Liverpool need to get Guehi. They need a defender. Honestly, Kanate, shocking in that game against Bournemouth. Wow. Bournemouth surprised me. Bournemouth looking solid without much investment. What's his name now? Is it Donakite or something like that? Donatike or something? I think that, I can't remember his bloody name. He played well in that game. For Bournemouth, they're one big signing so far. They look decent. Top 4 is Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City for me. I think United will get 5th. Also, behind United, I think, will be Newcastle, 6th. And then you're looking at everybody else. I think Villa will fall out of European places this season again. I think they'll be out completely. I think they're going to struggle big time with no investment. And the Forest in and around 7th again. I think they'll compete. And then you've got the likes of Bournemouth, Brighton, Fulham, Brentford, mid-table, Everton, Crystal Palace. West Ham, I think, are going to struggle this season. I think they're going to be in the relegation fight, personally. Sunderland, Leeds and Burnley will all be down there. I think there's a chance that we could get the same scenario again of all the promoted teams going back down, although they've made a good start, and there has been a lot of investment into Sunderland. Sunderland are a Premier League side. For the size of the club, the stadium, they should be in the Premier League, Sunderland. And I think it would be good if they could stay up. But, yeah, I still think there's going to be trouble ahead for them sort of teams. For the teams that have come up, I think there's still trouble coming for them. I think they're going to struggle. I really do. But I think they are better, all of them. I think all of the teams that came up compared to the teams that came up last year are better equipped to mount a challenge in staying into the Premier League. That's what I think anyway. So, surprisingly, I think maybe Wolves and West Ham could be the victims. They could invest, obviously, in the latter stages of this window, but Wolves have lost too many good players again, and key players, massive players for them. West Ham not investing enough. I think they're lightweight. They have got some good players there still. West Ham could fight out. I think they'll be in a relegation battle. So this is what I'm going to say. From what I've seen early doors, I think Sunderland might scrape it, and I'm not just saying that because they won 3-0 yesterday. I think they might do it because they've invested a lot of money, and they've got some good experienced players in there now, Sunderland. So Sunderland survive. I think Wolves will go down. I think Wolves are done. I think their time is up. Brentford could struggle. Not seen them play yet, obviously, but I think Brentford could struggle without Mbeumo, without Norgard, without Frank. It's the complete unknown for them. Maybe they come unstuck now. So Brentford could be in there as well. It's hard for me to pick a bottom three. It's a lot harder to pick a bottom three than it is the top four right now. I think top four takes care of itself because it's so far ahead. But honestly, oh God, I can't decide. I really can't decide. I think Leeds will go back down. I think Burnley will go back down. And then I think Wolves. That would be my pick at the moment. That might change. I would do a proper prediction after everyone's spent money and the transfer window was closed. I think then I could sort of gauge a little bit better as to where everything is at and where every team's chances lie. Get your predictions in as well, everybody, please. Let me know who you think are going to go down. In fact, who is your surprise package of the season? What team, for one reason or another, doesn't have to be if they're staying up, who do you think is going to surprise everyone this season? Go, live comment section right now. Come on, let me know, everybody. Again, I do apologise if you are playing catch-up and didn't get the notification for the show. And my fault completely this morning. So I know there's a lot of people in that would normally be in that. So there's a lot of people that would normally be in that are not on the show. Completely my fault. Thank you. We've still got over 300 in the room, which is amazing. With no notification, that means the channel is growing, everyone. So please pop a like on the video as well. But get into the comment section. What team are you looking out for this season? Who is going to be your surprise package? Tom's gone Sunderland. Pete's gone Sunderland. Everton, says Mr. Dacia Sandero. Sunderland again, says Andy Lee. Are you being convinced by that opening day? Or is it just the transfer activity? I actually think, I said Sunderland there with the amount of money that they've spent and the players that they've brought in. I think they've bought well. That's the difference. Andrew reckons Burnley. Good defence in the Championship last season. Can Scott Parker actually get the same again? Opening day defeat 3-0 tells you otherwise, doesn't it? They're going to have to... They're not going to be able to just rely on defence, I don't think, this season, Burnley. They're going to have to get something more up front. Nigel's saying United are the surprise package. There you go. So too is Gray. Get in there, boys. Wolves played well. Just City are too much quality. It says low fats. I just think their players and lack of quality players is going to come back to bite them on the... I think people are going to come in for some more of their players as well. I do. I think they're not done yet. I'd be worried as a Wolves fan. I would. Man United when we get back into Europe, because apparently we are mid-table. People are loving playing Manchester United down. Bournemouth is going to be Gary's surprise package. Semenyo, wow, he was absolutely awesome, wasn't he, at Anfield on the opening day. I think he's I mean, obviously we had the incident, the racist incident, which is a joke. Still can't believe that is happening. Why would you want to go to a stadium and do that? What is going through your head to want to do that to a playoff? You absolute cretin. I never understand people who deliberately go to do that stuff. It baffles me. It really does. Honestly, United, a dark horse, will bottle it, sack the manager, or surprise people. Everything then, Jordan, yeah? Anything. Not talk about hedging your bets there, mate. Carry on with the United slander and you'll be banned, Jordan. Let him do it. Look, everybody's revving and raring to go in slaughtering Manchester United after we lose today. I know it. I know a lot of people are waiting for it. They want to go in and they want to carry on the negative train. Like, they cannot help it. Honestly, I have been fighting it all summer for Man United. I do see positives. I do see Manchester United actually being in a miles better position this season than when we was last season. I think the good times are coming. Good times are coming for Manchester United again. We just got to wait a little bit longer. A little bit longer, that's all. But yeah, I'm not completely downbeat. I think there's optimism. Put it that way. There is optimism. I'm liking all of the comments though. I'm liking everybody. Chelsea will surprise a few. I think Chelsea will challenge. I do. I think Chelsea are not done in the transfer window yet. If they can go out and buy a centre back, then I think Chelsea can mount a title challenge. I really do. They have got a good team, Chelsea. And they've got a lot of depth. Silverback, welcome to the members club. That was gifted by Jordan. There you go. Jordan's made up for it now. I love it. Anyway, everyone, that is it. I'm going to wrap up the show there this morning. Again, apologies if you didn't get your notification to come through. That was my fault. I completely balls that up. It should have carried on forward from the FUTV stream earlier on. Well, get your comments in. Who is going to be your surprise package? Can you see any more blockbuster transfers happening as well? If you are just catching up right now and are watching it later on, get them comments in below, please, everybody. Thank you to all the mods. Thank you, everybody, in on the show. I will speak to you all later on. There's a load of content coming up today. Obviously, it's Match Day United. I'm at Old Trafford, back at Old Trafford today, so Match Day content returns. I'll catch up with you all later on. I may even do a call-in show right after the game coming out of Old Trafford. Who wants a piece of that? Let me know, everybody. Get into the comments. I'm going to ask that same question when I do the warm-up show a little bit later on FUTV before I head to Old Trafford. So that's where we're at today. Cheers, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic morning. I'll see you all in a bit.